Come in.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Meador's Math Focus.
Yay.
We're so glad you're here. I'm Miss Dalmas. I was going to call myself Miss Marina. I'm Miss Dalmas. I am the math coach here at Meador, and this is...
And I am Miss Marita, the counselor. We're just going to see if you're paying attention.
Just checking. And we also have Miss Hedge. She has had so much fun last time she was with us that she decided to join us again. So yay! Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And we actually have a live audience here today. So let me introduce our live audience. You can't see them. They're behind the scenes helping us get up all this stuff working together. So a huge thank you to our audience out here. We have Ms. T. Hay, who is our parent coordinator, and Ms. Culpepper, who's working on the technology side over there, and Miss Amy Clowers, our assistant principal, who's also helping with technology. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And Meador students, we really appreciate you being here today. Today, we're going to talk about measurement, which is why we have our rulers on here, our measuring our yard.
Measuring tape.
Measuring tape. Thank you. Out of my blank. All right. Before we actually begin, though, I want to remind everybody, please put your name and your teacher's name in the chat so we know that you're here. I know some of you probably didn't get your treat last time because you didn't sign in, and we don't know who was here, who wasn't, unless you sign in on the chat. So please sign your name and your teacher's name on the chat. You can just put your first name if you want. As long as I have your teacher's name, I can find you. So be sure and do that in the chat before we sign off today. All right, we are going to start with measurement. Measurement is when we use something to find the size or the capacity or the quantity of something. So that's what we're going to talk about today. You notice I try to get household items here to kind of stuff you don't have to go buy. You probably already have at home. So we're going to talk about these different items here. We're going to start with perimeter and area. I know that a lot of our classrooms are working on that right now, so we're going to start there. So I'm going to ask you, ladies, and Miss Marita, may ask you to come around here because you're going to kind of demo for the camera. Okay. Ms. Hedge, I'm going to have you here. And this is just a box that came, the dominoes came in, and we're going to use that. And we're not going to actually use a ruler or a measuring tape. We're going to do something with non-standard measurements. So that's just something that's not normally used to measure. So I'm going to ask you ladies, some dominoes here, if you will measure around the outside of your box using the dominoes.
Okay, so we're using dominoes. So let's see.
Measure the outside of the box.
With you. 1, 2, 3.
Do you want to tape yours, Miss Marita? I like how they're doing it in different ways. And is that okay? Absolutely. They're doing the outside. Does anybody out there know what that's called when we're measuring the outside of something? We're going around the outside of something. Do y'all know what that's called? Oh, I have some hands up. Yes. Yes. Tell you what, will you type it in the chat? And don't worry about spelling. Don't worry about spelling at all. Type it in the chat. God.
You know, Ms. Damas, in 3rd grade, we started talking about this just today.
Wow. So I know that if anybody's from Ms. Hedges' class out there, 3rd graders, I know you're going to type in the word. So she's excited. She saw the word. What word was it?
Was it perimeter?
It was. Yeah. So did you know how many it took to go around your box?
You got distracted.
That's okay. How many it take to go around there? Now, if Miss Marita just measured one side, is the other side going to be exactly the same since it's a rectangle?
Right. So if I had it over there, I had it like that.
See how much fun it is to measure?
That's 5. Trust me, that's 5.
So that means the other side is going to be what?
5.
Yes, 5.
So we got 5 plus 5 equals 10. And then what about this side? So that's 1 more, and then
1 more. What did that come out to? 10, and 1 more, and 1 more. Anybody?
Type it in. Type it in.
Type it in. Do we have an answer?
Yes, we do.
Do have an answer. All right. Yay. All right. That was the outside. Now, that was perimeter. That's kind of a long word, too. Perimeter. That's outside of something. Now, I want to measure the inside.
Ooh.
Do you know what that's called?
Well, if the other one is
do.
perimeter, I could guess that this one might be area.
Yes,
Right.
yes. And we're going to also, once again, use a non-traditional unit. We're just going to use dominoes and see how many it takes for the area. I wonder what I would use to measure area. Why do I need to know how to measure area? What would I use that for?
If I just bought, what if I want new carpet in my bedroom?
Do you need to cover something
I would
that
need
you
to
know?
know how much space is in that room, and that would be the area, right? Ms. Rhonda?
Yes, you're going to cover that
Mhm.
area. Very good. We're going to usually when you're covering something. So we're covering the area. So if it's not exact, can we say that we're estimating or approximately? We can use those words. So what did you ladies get?
9.
Yeah, so you got 9
Nine.
across. But are we filling it up or just 9?
We're actually, that's a good
estimating.
question.
Okay.
Are we filling it up? That would be volume.
Okay, so
And we're just doing the area.
So, right, there's 9 that fit.
And if Miss Marita did another layer to try to fill it all the way up, then we would be looking at volume, which is also measurement. And my 4th graders, you're going to start seeing that a lot when you get across the street at Morris.
So just so you can be GT, if you did 1 layer, the area, if you did another layer of 9, and then 3, the volume would be 3 layers of 9. 9 times 3, anyone?
Does anybody know 9?
9 times 3?
9? Are y'all putting in your answer? Are we getting some right answers?
Yes.
Oh, yes, we are. All right.
Yay, 27.
So that's just playing around, parents or kiddos, when you're at home. If you just want to measure something and you don't have a ruler or measuring tape, just use different items and have fun. Try to guess how many it would take to measure that. So now what I'm going to ask you to do is we are going to make a snack. But you know what? Before we make a snack, we were talking about non-tradition measuring. So I would like each of you to get a string. They can't wait to get to the snack, but I'm going to make them wait a little bit longer. So, all right. You can also, if you have a string at home, and I know Miss Hedge was talking about buying a cowboy hat. Miss Marita's buying a cowboy hat. They're getting ready for Friday because Friday is
Rodeo day.
yes. And so they need to measure to get the correct size of hat. Wow, we're using a measurement outside of school?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yay. So what we're going to do is, because the ruler won't bend, obviously, and well, we have measuring tape. We could use that, but string is much more fun.
Right.
And sometimes we
And I have
measuring
like
tape.
I know I have one of
that.
these at the house, but I don't know where it's at the moment. So
But we usually always have a ruler around for some reason. We always can find a ruler. All right, ladies. So what I'm going to ask you to do is you're going to take that string and you're going to wrap it around your head, right where the hat would lay on your head. So if anybody's out there wanting to buy a hat, here's how you do it. And then you want to kind of get right to where it is and then hold that measurement.
okay.
All right.
Okay.
And now we're going to take it up and keep your fingers right at the right measurement. And then you're going to take your,
How are we going to do this?
we can do either one. For Miss Marita's over there, we're going to use our measuring tape here. And Miss Hedge, what was yours?
21 inches.
21 inches. Very good.
And I am 23 inches. So my hat is going to be larger. Probably because I'm taller, maybe.
So we have a greater than, less than thing going. Awesome. I love it. So we're comparing and contrasting differences. Well done. So now I am going to say that you probably need some jackets and stuff, and you want it to fit just right on your arms because this sleeve just keeps growing too long and everything. So what I'm going to ask you to do is take your string and go from your shoulder
Oh.
and then just stretch it all the way out.
I
You
love
know
mine.
about how long that is, just right to your shoulder
right.
part. So can y'all do this at home? Yeah, just a string or yarn or whatever you want to use. You can use that and measure. Do you know back in the olden days, if you didn't have this with you, and even now, I see a lot of people that go to measure stuff. That's what they do. They'll take the fabric and they'll just set it here and go like that. And that's usually about, what did y'all come up with? Oh, you got to use this to measure.
Goes to my fingers. Raise your hand. Have any of you ever been in a wedding or a quinceanera? And maybe you had to wear like a fancy coat. That's where they, like the men that wear the fancy coats or the tuxedos, they have to do this so that it fits right.
Miss Hedge was about 26 inches. Miss Marita's about 26 inches.
We have the same length arms.
Now, do they have the same length arms?
We measure our legs.
I don't think that's going to be the same. Measure everything if you want it, which is fun stuff. And we're going to measure our hands, but not yet.
Okay.
That's a little later, so keep that in mind. We're going to measure our hands a little later. All right, yes, and you were saying quinceañera wedding, they have to do what?
Like men that have to wear the fancy jackets or tuxedo jackets, that they have to make sure that it is fitting. So sometimes they go to a place, they fit it, or if it's too long, they have to hem it and adjust it. Or same thing with your pants. If you have to buy pants and they're way too long, maybe you got to know what size length you are.
That happens to me a lot.
I'm right there with you. Now it's snack time. So you ready to make a snack?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to give you some ingredients, and then I'm going to ask you to measure. And anyone can do this at home. You want to make a snack? Instead of just throwing it together, let's measure out our snack. And this is the Miss Dalmas recipe.
I have one of these in my kitchen.
I do
love
too.
those.
I use that all the time.
We in the real world, not at
Right.
school, right? At home. So the stuff that we could do
If
at
you're
home.
making stuff, whether it's a gourmet meal or even just something like macaroni and cheese and whatever, and it's always like 1 cup of water or 2 cups of water or a cup of milk. I use that all the time.
Easy.
I do.
You
I
want
use
to
those too.
The teaspoon or tablespoon measuring.
Yeah, or measuring spoons. Very good. So something I love to just do this at home. Make different things. Raise your hand if you like to cook. I just want to see some hands out there. If you like to make things.
What about raise your hand if you like to eat? And you can be both. You can do
You can do both. Absolutely. Our audience is also raising their hands out here. All right, here we go. I have the recipe here somewhere.
Popcorn smells
I think
good.
I must have said it somewhere else, but I think I've got it right here
Okay.
in my head.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna start with a cup of pretzels. So one person can start doing the mixing and one person can start doing the measuring. 1 cup of pretzels. Y'all like pretzels out there? I know I love pretzels. And
These are a little bit.
we clean the table, so it's all good.
Okay.
So that's a cup.
Yes.
Very good. Now, will you also put a cup of Cheerios in there? And now your snack could be all the fun stuff you like to eat. It doesn't have to be what I'm putting in. This can be putting in what you like. What I like about those Cheerios is they have little hearts.
I know.
Kind of cute.
If you see the measuring
Aw.
cup, it goes up to, it's very easy, 1 cup. So you fill it up to that 1 cup line.
All right. Ooh, we're mixing now. Now I'm going to ask you to give me a half a cup of marshmallows.
Okay, so you see, we've been filling it up to that line, which is 1 cup. So if we're going to do half of that, there's one down here that's halfway that says half a cup. So it's going to be about halfway.
It's like our fractions we
Mhm.
learned.
Yes, measuring fractions.
I went a little bit over, but it's okay because I like marshmallows.
We love marshmallows. All right.
What's next, Miss Dalmas?
What's next indeed? Can you give me 3/4 a cup of popcorn.
Oh, we can't forget that.
3/4 cup of popcorn. Any popcorn people out there? I love my audience out here. Y'all wish y'all could see them because they're all raising their hand. They love it. So that's 3/4 is going to be a little less than the cup.
Right. So like 1 cup is up here, half a cup is down there. So it's a little in between.
This is a great way to practice your measurement. We're going to have our last ingredient.
Oh, can I try? Yes. Cannot forget the chocolate.
Now this one, we are not going to use the measuring cup. We're going to take that over here.
Okay.
This one, I am going to give you the measuring spoon. So if you can show me, or if you can get 2 tablespoons of M&Ms.
Okay. So I see this one says 1/8 of a teaspoon. So that's not the one I need.
No, that's too tiny.
You need more M&Ms than that. 1/4 teaspoon. Let's see. We have a half a teaspoon, a whole teaspoon. We have a half of a tablespoon. But you said
2
tablespoons. Ooh,
Oh,
here we
there
have
you
our
go.
tablespoon. It's nice and big for all the M&Ms. All right.
This has 2.
Here's a
Tablespoon.
1 tablespoon.
And I can put 6 or 7 in there.
But M&Ms are good.
Right?
And 2 tablespoons. Ooh, this looks like a good
Are
yummy
you sure
snack.
we only want to do 2?
Are you sure?
Okay, we'll do 3. We'll add 1 more.
Thank you, Mom.
And 3
Because y'all been doing
tablespoons.
so much measuring.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that looks good. It smells good. You guys gotta try something like that at home.
And
Oh,
there's
it's
your
good.
snack. I love that. So anytime you want to make something at home with your parents, ask them if you can help out in the kitchen. Just measuring. Maybe you can pour the measurement in a measuring cup and get an idea of what that looks like. What does 3/4 look like? What does 1/4 look like? So that's another fun activity we can do.
I like that one.
That one
That one's
is
fun.
fun.
Yummy.
Yes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to the gallon. It's been called the gallon guy, gallon gal. I call it the gallon person.
Right.
I just think it's a pretty fun thing to do. What you can do is you'll get a paper plate. Our paper plate. We're going to make 1 gallon person. We're going to ask Miss Marita to design a face because she will do the face of our gallon person. I also have some markers over there.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, Miss Hedge, I'm going to ask you to step over to our board over there. That's all right. We'll get that later.
Stepping on our snack.
We made a little mess making our snack, but that's okay. We got it. So I'm going to ask you if you'll put that white paper on there. And you don't have to have paper to put on your put over there. I'm just asking them to do that on there so that you can see it better. It's kind of hard to see it when you have it flat. So I'm going to ask you to start putting our gallon person together.
Okay.
And we're going to start with the body, which is the gallon. And I'm sorry, Miss Marita, I'm going to
Fine. Here, I'll
switch
move over here.
places with you. And we can move this over. So we're going to do that a little more. So that's the gallon, which is kind of like if we're doing a gallon person, we think of the middle part of our body. If you have been joining us since the beginning, Miss Marita was actually a gallon gal for us, and she had it on her arms, her legs, so it was pretty cool to see Miss Marita model that for us. So the gallon, the body, that's kind of like this bottle right here is a gallon. So this is kind of what the gallon looks like. Kind of a heavy gallon. So I'm gonna put that over there.
I think ours is a gallon lady.
A gallon lady.
A
Gallon gal.
Yeah.
There you go. So next, after the gallon of the body, it takes 4 quarts to make up the body. So if you will tape that on there. And then if you're like, I don't have my paper or my picture, then think of your body. This big trunk part is the gallon. And this is and this is 1 quart, 2 quarts, 1 leg is 3, another leg, that's 4 quarts. So that makes up the gallon. So these parts make up our gallon. That's okay. We can do it on top of them if you want. And now it gets even smaller with pints. We're gonna do pints over here. This takes a little while to do, but just you can tear off. It doesn't have to be perfectly cut like this. It can be however you want it to be. We'll just show one arm real quick, and you would do this on every quart. 2 pints make up a quart. Hey, pints. Do y'all use pint when you're here in the mornings for breakfast? Maybe when you get your milk, you get a pint of milk or chocolate.
But with the milk.
Yes, that's the size of the pint. So there you go. So that's our gallon person with pints. We have a special person joining us. Woo-hoo! Miss Bolton. Hey, guys. How was everybody today? Great. We're making our measurement. She is drawing a picture of Miss Bolton. Miss Bolton will be our gallon gal.
I will add some more blonde.
This is my favorite. We used to call him Mikey the Measurement Man when I was in school.
Mikey, oh, that's cute. I like that.
It's gonna really come together.
We are, and this is our gallon person, her face.
Her face. Perfect.
And when you look at this, you can tell that it goes from small. We're gonna put cups on 1 pint. I'll let you do that. So 2 cups make up a pint, or 2 pints make up the quart, which make up the body, and you can think of your body like that. So quart, I'm gonna ask you, quart, and then the other arm, quart, and then the leg, quart. And then after that, if you think of your arm, like if you bend right here, so we have this whole quart. What makes up 1 quart? You look at our picture. So it's a pint, and here's our quart. Pint, quart. Yeah. And then if you'll hold your fingers out, she's still modeling for us. Here's our cups. So here's our cups. So we have cup. We're having too much fun.
I feel like they're gonna tickle me, and I'm like,
She's being ready to be tickled. But here's our gallon person that we're making over here.
I'm going to.
Should I? That's okay. And that's good. We can stop right there. I think they get the idea. Do you want to finish that?
You gotta put her face on.
We do have to put her face. So we're gonna take Miss Bolton's replica face here and put it right there. So that's our gallon person. Is it all right if we display this somewhere when the kids come by in the morning? They can
Absolutely.
see it.
Let's put it in the hallway.
I love it.
Second grade, second grade bathrooms.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
They can see it when they go to eat. They can see it when they go to lunch.
I love that. Our gallon person.
Okay.
All right. I have one last activity. We talked about measurement. I told you I'm going to ask you. I'm going to switch places with you over here. Miss Bolton, you walked in at the right time. Let's see if Miss Bolton is going to stick around for this one. It can be a little messy. So I'm going to ask you each to get a plate. All right.
Okay.
You're going to need 2 plates, actually.
Dumbbells.
It is our measuring, and I'm so glad you said that because we didn't get to our scale, which is right behind you. That is our homemade scale. We can do that. And you know what, Miss Bolton, if you don't mind, we can talk about scales while these ladies are going to paint their hands. So you're going to paint your hand, and then you're going to do it on here on the paper plate. You're going to push your hand there, and then we're going to measure your hand.
Okay.
So I will let y'all do that while Miss Bolton and I talk about our scale over here. Move it in a little bit. So this is a scale you can make at home. You don't have to have a scale. I just used a hanger, little plastic cups, and some string, and this is our scale. So what we can do with our scale is, I'm gonna let you hold that.
Remove your jewelry.
I'm glad they're not dumb.
I wish they were. If you'll put one scale on one side,
We can high five
do you notice what happened to our scale?
after we make it.
It went down
That's right. Why?
because there's too much weight on this side and not enough on that side.
There you go. So we're going to try to even that out. And you can it evens out. So I wonder if we can try that again.
What if, do the reds weigh more than the yellows?
Ooh, good question. Well, right now it does because we have 2 reds and 1 yellow. If we put that yellow, let's see what happens. Oh, they do
I can
weigh the
almost-
same.
I can almost tell that the hanger's straight.
So that's something we could do to measure. Oh, we caught you red-handed.
What if I changed it? What if I put another one here?
So that one got heavier.
And put the opposite, oh, one here.
So the colors don't matter. They're the same weight.
They're the
They're
same
the same
weight,
weight.
just the color.
And I could put rice in here if I wanted to put rice. I could put different items in here and measure it. I can use bigger cups. Thank you, ladies.
It's really hard for me not to put that on Miss Maria's face. I just want you to know, boys and girls, it's really hard.
I wanted to high five Miss Bolton or give her a hug.
I'll let you high five me if I get to high five you.
We are having way too much fun out
Can I
here
see
today.
how many I can put in here?
Yes.
How
Yes.
many do you think I could get in this cup?
Well,
Let's
there's
predict.
3 already in here now. Ladies, do y'all have any prediction with your
How
hands while
many
they're
do you think I
drying?
can put in here, boys and girls? I have 3 in this cup.
12, 14?
I'm saying 14.
You guys have put your guess in the chat.
Can you put your guess in there? How many do you think? You predict. How
I
many do
say
you think?
16.
You think in one cup? You think I could get 16?
I'm going to say
I
6.
say 14.
They're saying 10.
10. We got 10. I'm saying 6. I don't know.
I'd say 10's a pretty good answer. I'm gonna guess 12.
Oh, we got 12 out
Ah,
there
Miss Culpepper
guessing.
says 12. Let's see. 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so my guess is wrong.
Keep going.
7, 8. Count with me.
9,
10.
right,
A little bit more than like 10.
11, 12. Keep going.
Oh. I'm gonna make it wrong. 13, 14.
2 more in there. 15, 16.
Oh my gosh, I never would have guessed 16.
Oh.
I get that. Right.
We do a lot of estimates.
We do, right? You sure do.
Shake my hand.
Yeah, I will in a little while. What I want to tell you could do though with the hand is it is fun, right, ladies, to get your hands in paint. It washes off. Then we can take our ruler and we can measure our hands. So I'm not sure if this Miss Marita's hand.
I'm all about predicting. How many of you think Miss Marita's fingers would be longer from here to here than Miss Hedge?
Oh, interesting. So we're going to take the longest finger we can on here, and that's about
7? Right at
7.
7?
Okay, and Miss Hedges,
Longest one?
say
Right
about
6.
6.
Do you think it has anything to do if you're taller, you have longer fingers?
I asked Miss Hedge if we wanted to measure our legs.
We have
You mean
the
your
same arms, though.
Yeah.
Same length arms?
And I have a bigger head.
Oh, that's for sure. She's always had the big head. We like Miss Marita anyway.
It
Right.
is.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see whose arms are longer, mine or Miss Dalmas's. But my shoulder with her shoulder. Which one do you think is longer?
I think the taller Miss Bolton's gonna have a longer arm.
Oh, see, put your hand down. My fingers are longer than hers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Measurement's fun.
Measurement
Yeah.
is fun. It is fun. And we didn't get to half of the stuff we wanted to get to today, but thank you so much for joining in. And Miss Bolton, Miss Marita, Miss Hedge, Miss Clowers, Miss Culpepper, Miss TA, thank you so much for joining us and helping us make this possible today. Love when we have a special guest. It's always so much fun. And we will see you next month. Next month is going to actually be geometry.
Ooh.
So we're going to be making some different things.
A plus B equals C? That's
That's
algebra.
algebra. We're going to be geometry. So we're going to do some building.
Geometry, could that be like diamond shapes and jewelry and shapes?
Conglomerates.
rectangles.
See, they're ready. They're ready.
Quadrilaterals.
All right, so
Triangle.
y'all need to save that for next month. Looking forward to it. We're gonna try to build some. We're gonna put the marshmallows, toothpicks back, and stuff like that.
I love
So
those.
we're gonna
I love
build.
you too.
You guys have a great afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow, and thank you for joining us here.
They said
See you later, alligators.
Happy wild
crocodiles.